small introduction. Now we will present a new instant messaging feature that is currently in development. We will release it in the final 11.2 version. Now it's still in progress. We just want to introduce it to you, just to get a first impression. Okay, Mani will present it.
Okay, so this is the instant messaging. Okay, and this is the form of the instant messaging. As you can see, it looks very similar to WhatsApp. I think it's very intuitive. Here we have the chat, the open chat that I have. Here I have a tab of the contacts. I have a group. I can create groups and save here my contacts like this. I want to add a new contact to the group, so I can search for, I don't know, here and add it to my group. And here I have the actions. This is the navbar. I will explain about it later. So here is a chat with Stas. This is one-on-one chat. Me with Stas. We have also a group chat. If I want to start a group chat, I add a new participant, for example, or, and here I have to give the group a name, so I'll call it group 1. And here I have a new group chat. As you can see, there is the icon of a group of 3 people participate, and I can chat with Stas and or. Here I have Stas user. He has 3 new messages. Here, group 1, group 1. This is the message for me. Okay. 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 And in Mani user, I can see that. Okay. Now I have also a way to know that my messages was received by Stas. For example, here I sent all these messages, and I get into Stas user, and when he opens, when you see all the messages, I have a green V, so he got all the messages. This is the basic type of chat, and now we have also a context-aware chat. The context-aware chat is actually a chat about some context, about some study, and you can chat on it, and I will. For example, I want to chat about this study, so I open new chat for this study, and this chat is open. The first name of the patient, the type of the test, and the status of the study. Here I have the performing staff that related to the study. Here, for example, I have the order, and here the referring physician of the study. this is can be configured by in data windows. And now if I want to add, for example, this user to the chat, it's here and I can add it. Okay, now I will go back to the action tab. I can activate the actions from the navbar on this study. Okay, so if someone sent me this, let's go back to stats. Okay. Okay, so Stas is here, and I want to talk with him about this study. Okay, so now he has this new chat. And if he wants to diagnose this study, we just press diagnose from here, and all the contacts.
Oh, that's why you need to talk about
You killed Lady Gaga.
Good for you.
And now I actually have this diagnosis about this test. So okay, so this is all the three tabs. Now here I have a toolbar that on the first one I can refresh. Okay, I start from here. Here I have the state. I can change my state. If I'm busy, I change it, and Stas will see that I'm busy. So here he sees that I'm busy, and I can talk, and I can change it to away. If I'm not on the using the computer for more than 10 minutes, automatic my state becoming away.
Is that configurable?
And not yet. Here I have a history button that is not ready yet.
It will not be ready for 11.2, it will be probably ready for update 1 of 11.2, the history.
Okay.
Maybe we'll explain something about what is history. As you can see, all the received chats, the user have all the received chats on the left part here, but user actually can close the chat, and later it will be able to look for all chats that he has in the past using the history button.
Okay. Here I have a mute or unmute for the notifications that I get.
When message is arrived, in some cases we are just user will hear some ding notification to know that message has been arrived, but it can actually be disturbing for some kind of user, so a user can mute.
Yes, and it can be saved. So if someone wants to mute it forever, he doesn't have to always press mute when he gets into the chat. It's saved.
Everything is saved in user preferences. We have a new section in user preferences that actually saving everything on the screen, the alignment of the screen, the number of the open chats, all configurations on the screen. So.
Okay, and here this is always on top. If I want the instant messaging be always on top, the icon might be changed to be more intuitive. And here I have a refresh study status. So if someone changed the status of some study, I press refresh, and the current status of the study is refreshed. Alright, okay. For example, if Stas, okay, if Stas sign 1, okay.
Have automatic distribution and no probably some spring. No, probably.
Okay, it doesn't matter. If I refresh it, it's sign 1. Okay? And it happens to all the context-aware chats here.
Okay, as it's pretty all of what we have for the chat, you know, it's actually supposed to be something very intuitive. You can play with it. The main purpose why we created this instant messaging is the ability to have context-aware chats between users. For example, let's say the radiologist wants to ask something from technologies that take images for the study. You know, instead of, I don't know what is the flow, and now they can talk between them using chat, and it's really easy. Radiologist once even when diagnose screen is open, the action of create new chat can be just a button in the data window. Actually, the action to create a context-aware chat is a new action that can be connected to anything that is allowed in RIS. For example, context menu or toolbar or data window button. And once radiologist clicks on that button, the new context-aware chat will be created. Radiologist will automatically see the technologies that did the study, because as Mani showed, can open the ADG again, because of the configurations that we have here, performing stuff is configurable. We can actually map there any user that is related to the study, this configuration data windows. It's really, I think you are familiar with it. And double clicking on performing stuff user will add it to the chat, and user can easily send him a message and discuss the issue, something. We of course have all notifications, as you can see, when user edit to chat. If user leaves the chat, he also will get notification. Other users, well, when user will leave the group chat, other users will get a notification that user left. You know, the regular things. Actually, probably it's all about the instant messaging for now. Do you have any questions? Something?
Yeah, is there a way to like have a pop-up? Because the icon.
Yeah, we'll
transformed,
add.
right?
Yeah, we planning to add some like in Outlook, when the message arrives, you have some
Like a pop
like balloon
Right.
yeah, window
Yeah.
in the bottom of the screen. We'll add it later. As I said, it's in developing now, and maybe it looks easy to develop chat, but
not.
but it's not at all. It takes
One
time.
of the things with the context aware, I think that's a great connection to the data, obviously. But is there a way to switch context while you're in this window? Like, for example, dragging a study onto the window and have the context change.
No, we don't have such ability here. As I said, the only way is to create new chat by, I think actually in 3 ways, or by clicking right click on the work list row, or from the toolbar.
Here also.
From here you can open a new chat with the user.
With one user.
A direct chat not related
Yes.
to the patient.
Yes.
No, from here you can drag the study to the existing chat, and it will make it context aware. Currently.
You could have 3 or 4 separate chats for different studies
Oh,
all
okay.
going on at the same time, and switching context is just switching chats.
Yeah, it is.
Opening a new chat either from the data window or the work list. So you'll be in dealing with the patient when you want to talk to someone else typically.
Here,
So
when-
I take it it's not easy to develop chats stats. Is that what you're saying?
here when user scrolling the window, you will get his previous messages on scroll.
I think that's it, right? I think that's it.
Or maybe here.
Let's take yours.
It's your chat. Yeah.
Okay.
We actually, by default, we are
Yeah.
retrieving only last 20 messages, and once user want to see his previous message, just scroll
Just
up.
retrieve another 20,
And it
and
will
then
take- but it works very
again.
smoothly. User will not feel that.
yes,
as you can
you
see
can't
automatic.
feel it. You just retrieve automatically the other messages.
Okay, so any other questions?
Is it possible to paste an image?
Yeah.
Side
yeah.
box?
Not for now. We're planning to add this option, but not in 11.2. We are planning to give also add emojis and maybe to send regular image. It's in the plans. I hope we will do that in 11.2.
Yeah.
Depends on
Is there a
time
real
we
good
have.
business case for it? I guess is like I was thinking about that, and is that really is there a need for the users to actually be viewing images? Can you guys tell me? I don't know.
To exchange images in the discussion?
Yeah.
I think at the end we'll mix with screen sharing from PAX side, which is also in development. No, PAX is going to use this chat, but the screen sharing feature inside PAX. Let's say I'm doing in PAX, I'm seeing a study. I can generate like a session number, and the other PAX client can put this and see the same screen. We show it in last service.
When we thought about moving files, we have this technology in the central manager. Central manager and instant manager underneath are using the same technology. It's not an easy technology. In web server, you usually trigger request from client to server. And if you need to chat, you need full duplex. And if you think about load balancer and few web services, this complex everything. So you can't connect, you and I can't connect to one server or expect that we are on the same server with the same chat. We may be or may not, and there is a chaos here of connection. So it's very complex technology. It's not easy, but sending files exists from the central manager because we are sending the logs files, so we thought to use the same technology. It's like a given.
So this
But
message.
we are not going to invest, there are more stuff which we are thinking to use on this technology, like whiteboard and broadcast.
Yeah.
It's easy way to send messaging. For example, you want a whiteboard of all the events that happen today. Modality has a defect, from 2 to 3 is not operating, or to send it to a group of all the technicians. It's a great technology, and we just need to change the GUI. We can use the same technology and different application. And this is going to be. So any other ideas are welcome.
So the messages are not actually going through the RIS website.
They are going through
No,
a
not the-
service, a different service, the
Exactly.
instant messaging.
So is there any need for a different port to be open at the client?
We are
Yes.
using there is, on top of this technology, there is a Redis, and Redis requires port.
Okay.
If you install the RC or whatever, you would notice that there are few services.
Mm-hmm.
When you install the web server, you have the web server, then the central
Yes.
manager, and the instant manager, and Redis.
Okay.
And in the Redis, there are ports, and there are more ports. I don't remember all the ports.
I'm
So
thinking
you
from
will
a
get-
client perspective, if there's any change to infrastructure that we
The
need.
client, no, the idea is to have the 88. Don't
Okay.
mess with the
That's what I'm
client.
thinking about. Perfect.
The idea, the requirement is don't mess with the client.
Perfect.
I hope that we won't find any environment which we are getting beaten. Because we are here, it's our bubble, you see,
Yes.
so so we are not sure if we have all these ports and DNS and all this stuff. We need here also a DNS, because it's a new service.
Yes.
So it's a new pool in the load balancer. It's a new service because you get here a new service with different URL, and you need to configure your web server.
Yes.
And we share it about half a year ago in the core. So it's not surprise. We inform the core that we are going to add services. Any objection, no one said nothing. So we
Okay.
know.
Good.
So you have one.
Okay, so
Join.
okay.
Be nice too if it was made URL aware.
Sorry. Again?
I just happened to see the URL there.
URL.
You know how
yeah.
the URL, you can put a little blue line, so if you click on that, it
Yeah,
activates.
Yeah, I
URL.
sent URL to test
Just to
what
check.
will happen,
To
but
check what
probably it didn't do that automatically.
Yeah. Because
So-
that is something I can see them passing back, oh, check out this information on this URL page. So you copy, paste it in, and it'd be nice if they could click and bring up the page.
Yeah, but the control that we are using there will not allow this. Doesn't allow this functionality out of the box. So don't know if we can do that easily. So everything depends on how difficult it is to
Yep,
do
just a
this.
suggestion. I can see
Well,
benefit.
we would like to collect all the suggestions that you are raising or thinking.
Yeah, of
or
course, of
bringing.
course.
This is why we
Anything,
share it.
everything.
So
you-
every suggestion, please go to Lee, and we would like, if you have it now or you remember it later on, please raise it.
Okay,
URL
in
aware.
your
It's already down.
in the environment that we have here on your machines, the chat probably will not work because of two things. One thing, I think I don't know if instant messaging service is running. The second reason that the drop that I have here is I think it's dropped 2-3 weeks ago, and we have some issues at the time. So I don't think you can try it here, unfortunately.
I play with the drop in instant messaging, it works, but you can use it, but don't, if there are bugs, don't
You-
report. Know
Yeah.
them.
You also played with the old.
Plus, you're all in different environments except for
Yeah.
deployment stuff.
Yeah, we are showing that from for our machines on purpose. There we have to let you saw we ran it from the code, source code, to have the latest version.
So to set this up, is there like probably be some specific ports or any other things that needs to be, just things to make sure that we've got all that documented at some point in time.
It's supposed to be documented.
I have a note down about the ports as well. No, that will come out with the documentation for
Yeah.
sure. Installation wise, it will be installed by the installer. The server side portions and the client, it's built in, it's just there. But there is a permission where you can turn chat on or off.
Okay.
We've got 30 to 40 additional features that we want to put inside chat, or we have listed down with a ton of ideas and ways that this can be used. Mark and I talked about a few yesterday. System notifications. There's going to be an upgrade in 3 days, so we do a broadcast out over. We could raise events, the little flags that we have in the bottom right corner. In future, if we can say there's more than 10 studies that you are assigned that are on red, boop, message pops up in chat. There's a ton of different possibilities and areas that we could look at doing.
Stat cases as well,
Yeah,
even.
yeah. If you don't happen to be logged on, that's sort of how you're away from your desk and a stat case comes in assigned to you. There's a lot of system type notifications that we can put in there as well, for sure.
Critical result. If the referring has access to RIS, maybe use it to notify about CRMs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in that scenario, but in the end, you are comparing chat like also a notification tool, because
Yes.
Yeah.
other system has notifications, but not really things that trigger notifications when you log in or something like that.
Yes.
So you are using the same that like the RIS is an user that want to chat with you, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the system user.
The system user, yeah.
Something that occurred to me, maybe for these chat groups that are based on studies, maybe add some patient ID or session number for safety, for patient safety maybe. Just in case you're not, you know, just so everybody that is in the chat knows they're talking about the same patient and the same study. Not assuming it's the same Lady Gaga, maybe not another one with the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
This is a different idea.
Actually,
Copycat.
We can add it to the header there, maybe session number if you like.
And maybe even the session number.
Yeah. And we don't want to add too many things
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
We can.
It's the good and the bad, yeah.
Yeah, just something they can use for.
you know what might be good to put up there is the patient banner.
Sorry?
The patient banner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would solve everything.
If it fits into that.
I
that
know.
space.
I don't think that we can do that, but we can create our own control that we can.
Banner,
create
yeah.
for us.
Let us have
We need to
flexibility.
have, if you add more, we need to
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll definitely make a note of that. How about the interface in general? It's kind of designed from
Yeah.
a few different
It's-
applications.
Is there currently a way to like dock this window to the main news window?
Talked about it yesterday.
Just so it won't compete because you have
No, and
facts,
we
risks,
will,
and
no, and we can't do that. I'm sorry, this is not possible. No, it's
Okay.
a rule
We are
because
aware.
we have restrictions here. We can't
The right thing. Like,
dock
Yeah, I
this
was
window
thinking
to
right.
read.
need to do something.
And,
Not blocking, but
It's
just
possible,
go ahead.
it's possible to add a default group for critical result, for example, and involve all the people that are working in the same place, in order to have aware exactly what happened with when some critical result arise problem.
We could. The performing staff information is customizable. Basically, it's what feeds that in the background is a data window. So you can copy the technologist, any of the critical result recipients that would be on the data window onto the chat data window. And you can label them whichever way you want to label them on that data window. So the order and the referring are labels or design comments probably on the data window that holds the staff. So we could do that. The only thing would be having everyone online. Typically the referring won't be online because not many referring physicians use the RIS obviously, but if we start looking at the web module, the chat's going to be inside the web as well, which may see wider use than the RIS client.
Sometimes part of the staff, people that is working, the secretary or whatever, or technology, the biographer, GIF will be in charge to this part of the workflow and receive all the message and send us. Not necessary to to be contact the final doctor. Will be some part of the staff aware about the critical resource issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, plus you could, just, when it's a context-aware chat, they could directly open the report right there and look at it. But maybe we should have some kind of an indication if it's a critical result, or if it's a critical message, a message priority, I guess.
Red boxed or something like that.
Yeah. Good idea.
It's possible to send message outside of the RIS environment? No?
Not at this time. We have it down in the list, but that might be one of those ones that's a little further out.
What idea? Do you think that, for example, the question, more users in the hospital will use such application to interact with radiology department?
Yes.
There is a cross department communication.
This could be
Referring.
Beside the referring, but lab or other, no?
Or do you think the radiologist would want that? We think a bit about them when we think about this and not interfering too much with their time either.
Yeah. But it's not, maybe not so much with the radiologist, it's there's a lot of other staff that today they need to call the referring doctor and ask something, or the referring doctor wants to add something to the conference. It's not mainly the radiologist.
I was actually thinking about that. For example, when you add somebody to a group, for example, do they need to accept being part of a group, or it's automatic?
No,
right?
they can leave the group, but they don't need to accept.
Okay. So much like WhatsApp.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one other thing I was thinking, it would be nice maybe to have to allow the user to add a status message, so they can tell, for example, at which site they are on that day, or their extension number or something.
Yeah.
We actually have that down in the feature requirements, as well as contact information for the user as well, kind of like in
same time.
Same time, exactly. Popping it up, yeah.
One very small comment is most of the chat and messaging applications, if you start a group, like it's a one-time group, you don't have to name it. The name is created by all the people participating in that. This is a very small thing.
Yeah, that's been a little back and forth. Originally, it started as all of the people, and then it was changed.
No, sometimes if you want to use it most of the time, it's good to put a name. But it's something that you want 2 or 3 people to discuss one topic.
Yeah.
Put a name and then delete it.
So maybe make the name optional.
Yeah, but it's very small.
Yeah. What about the UI in general, having a contacts list? Is it useful having a contacts list, or would it be better to have a small search box? Would you have a favorite list of users, or would it be easier to just work with groups inside RIS, or?
I use it in Notes, but I'm not radiologist.
Yeah, a lot of us have that kind of notes experience, and that's what we're used to. But there's a lot of other chat applications out there as well, and that's
a problem.
Yeah, I did a lot of the design on it, and my perceptions were colored by notes as well.
Is there a way like to integrate that to an AD so that you can actually search or add people based on their profile,
or may not be RIS users maybe?
We can't at the moment. Right now it's tied to the application user, or it's the resources inside the RIS that are application users.
And that's another question. As soon as you are a user, you are a part of potential chat. You don't have to enable anything in your user profile.
Not in the profile, but there is a preference at the moment that you can turn chat off or,
Okay.
well, not a preference, a permission.
Permission.
Yes, that's right. So you can hide the chat, or if certain groups or hospitals don't want to use the chat, it can be disabled.
Yeah.
for them.
I'm sorry, going back, because if you have a certain profile in the AD, you will almost guarantee you're using RIS. So there is a one-to-one. Also, it would mean to, I don't know if it's possible to create users based on AD, but
Within the RIS?
yeah, in the Nordics, it's more and more common that the AD will control everything based on users, because that's where users are. They'll delete it, they'll maintain. In RIS, not so much.
In V11, we can automatically create a user inside the RIS upon first log on when it's using Active Directory, and V11 uses authorization from Active Directory as well as authentication now.
Yeah.
So there is a possibility to do that. But there's a lot of preferences and things like that that aren't set up with that, so not a lot of sites really use that.
But you can't like generate a group that says all radiologists or all radiographers or all secretaries or everything should be in this group. Like instead of selecting one person at a time, it'd be nice to select a complete group and say, yeah, this is a broadcast to you guys. Or
Yeah, but that would go to the broadcast feature.
why? If it's a notification?
Because you want a different display. If you want a broadcast system and you want a whiteboard and you want a list of messages, you also need to associate a different GUI for that.
Right.
You don't
But
want
you-
to see it in a similar
No, but
GUI.
Lee told us that you were contemplating having a broadcast and you.
That's a different system. You
Right.
use the same notification. It's
yeah.
a different system. You don't want it in the chat.
Right.
You want notification in general in the list.
Yep.
Start case. I have start case for audiology, so
Yeah.
it showed up.
Right. I was under the assumption that it was going to be built into the instant messaging.
The technology,
Yeah.
same technology, same idea, same. Well, you see here a GUI, but underneath there are more people besides staff and money which work
Right.
on that.
Yeah.
I mean, to build all the infrastructure, it always goes to URI.
Right.
And URI is ready to bring all this new technology to fit into that.
Right.
So otherwise, it won't be,
Well-
you see the messages were instantly, no delays.
No, it's fine. It's just throwing ideas in the air and
Yeah.
seeing what's.
Yeah.
We do
We
have,
take it,
Yep.
we take it forward because we know we have good infrastructure.
we do have a future idea about risk groups at least. So user groups within risk, being able to broadcast to risk groups, or possibly even adding a risk group, kind of like a mail group inside notes is automatically added based on the group that you belong to. So you could have that group automatically add a reference without adding everyone. Yeah. But we hadn't really thought of linking into AD. We've kind of kept it inside the
Just
risk
make it
world for the
easier
moment.
and simpler to maintain, because these multi-site customers have a lot of users, and if you have to search through everyone, maybe if we can give them tools to make it easier.
Yeah, to select the right people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the search is very easy too.
I know, but if you have to search 100 people, it might be easier to just select a group.
The group.
Yeah, start narrow it down.
And then
to a
maybe
group
groups
first and
2 or
then
3
search
or
within the
whatever,
group.
but just to provide them with options to.
Well,
make
could
things
you
easier.
enhance maybe the searchability within chat, so that you could actually select all radiologists, or all if there was more criterias within that search part?
Anything is possible.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
It sounds like it.
Right.
speaking of search, is it possible to search for a message?
Not yet.
Previous message?
History.
The
Yeah.
history will allow it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was going to be my next question. In terms of infrastructure, these messages, are they stored in the database?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
Is there like a cleanup planned or something, or they just
That's also in the future list,
Okay.
message cleanup.
I don't think that you would be able to pay them because it's an audit.
exactly, and that's what you have to
I
find
mean,
balance.
maybe-
It's associated
It is,
to,
however, after 5 years in Denmark, you can clean
5
everything.
years.
Yeah.
He's talking about 14 days.
Or less. I just want the database to be working well. Yeah, but I agree. We need to find a balance between auditability and,
It's a business information.
Of course, yeah.
You're talking related to.
especially if you're checking about study and taking decisions, critical decisions.
To create such tool only for chatting, you wouldn't do it. You have WhatsApp, you have Skype, you have whatever you have.
Yes.
The benefit here is the context.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about infrastructure implications, database growth or something.
You're right.
If,
You're right.
if this really works, if people are really going to be using it, if it is a success.
It's going to be, no, WhatsApp, they keep the database in their phone.
Yes.
It's not on the server side. They would collapse. Yeah. Didn't you look at that?
No, I don't have.
It is just a database table at the end of the day. 2 database tables actually. There's an instant message table that holds the message, and then there's an instant message recipients. So for every message there can be 1 or more recipients. So you have to coordinate the cleanup, but it's a database table. It's certainly possible.
Okay.
You just have to be careful. How much do they want cleaned up? When do they want cleaned up? Messages start disappearing. That's the usual
Hopefully
considerations.
there will be a configuration.
It's good.
Having, if there's 3 different tabs works, the actions, is it, we had it as one originally and stacked, it was very compressed.
Right. As Tiago says, if you dog it, that'd be great. Either the tabs, or if you could like have on the left hand side you have all the users, on the right hand side you have the actions, or maybe split them so that you could actually have the same
Arrange
area,
it the
the
way
same
they
real
like.
estate. Yeah, because there's a lot of wasted space, right? Right next to the users. There's a lot of white area that could be used maybe.
Yeah, that is resizable as well, so you can shrink that down, of course.
Right.
I think,
Just going to.
yeah.
Just a minute, the mouse is very slow.
And if actions, does that have to be a full tab? I mean, it could be buttons, I don't know, in the bottom or whatever.
That's the thought. We basically use it's a nav bar. Yeah, so we just reuse the nav bar infrastructure.
Right.
That's an idea.
So for users which are not used to notes like us, we don't like the context because we think it's you don't need it actually. If you go to the chat, you have the plus button, and you can create and add groups and add users. It's just cumbersome. You don't need.
And if you think about it on WhatsApp, what you have is a stack of the most recent chats you've been to.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's sort of the people you naturally speak
Yes,
to more.
here it
They're
also
always there
like that.
global.
The most recent session are
Yes,
at the top.
exactly.
Here it also like that. The most recent chat
Uh-huh.
is on top.
Ah, okay. I see.
Yes. When you get a new message, if you get a new message from
there it is.
Ortal, so it comes to top.
Okay.
Will that be like an indication of how many chats? So if somebody wrote you 3 times, there'll be like a number 3 next to your
Free message.
chat.
Not yet. For now, we have just the number of the new messages in
Right
each.
in the bubble.
Yes,
Yeah.
in each chat.
Yep.
So one chat, if you have 4 new messages in one chat, it counts as one.
Right. Right.
But maybe.
If you see the number 3 in the bubble, you know, oh, there are 3 new chats. You immediately look at the 3 top chats and you're like, what?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, on each individual chat tab, you have like one message, 6 messages,
Exactly.
42 messages. I better look at that one.
At least for me, the main reason that I use in the contact list in Notes is to check if they are online. The people that I used to talk with.
Here, yeah, they even work
Okay,
together.
he's online. I will chat and not send a mail. That's the reason I
That's a very
like
good
in
point.
Notes.
Yeah.
But it's a different
Yes.
approach.
Yeah, makes sense.
So go offline if you don't want me to contact you in Notes.
You see it immediately you see it, you can add when you search a button about the status. When you search and find,
Okay.
so you can add that.
But I had to type the name
name.
of the person. Yeah.
That
I agree
list,
that-
you need to create it manually. This is why we don't like it.
Yeah.
So when you start it, you just need to create and edit and create it and edit.
Yeah, I have people that is no longer in the company, so okay,
It's
this is
your
now
favorite-
deleted.
It's your manual list which
Yeah.
you build.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
is.
cumbersome. You
Yeah.
don't need it. You have the search button of all RIS users.
That's a very good point about the online though.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we can
It's the main
have
reason
a
of having it.
friendlier way to build that list or to see who's online and who's not online.
The server's down for some reason. I don't know why.
Maybe if in the group name, if you hover over, can display the names and status.
And say that again?
No, I mean a way to check if, let's say, the first time you add the 3 persons to a specific group, okay, you do it manually and don't care if it's they are online or not. Maybe a way to quick look up of the status is if you move your mouse on top of the group name, like having a list, a
Okay.
hover over
Yes.
list of the and their
Everyone
status.
within the group.
But it's
Yeah.
more detailed.
Just out of something else, I'm not sure we would want that since it's a professional chatting tool, but is it possible to mute a specific person or a group? Because I'm thinking about radiologists, some of them may be antisocial or they don't like to be disturbed.
Someone for lunch? Someone come on,
group
everyone
would
else.
have lunch.
No, that's
that's
why.
what I'm thinking about. Do we want to have that? I'm not sure. Because people always behave in a way.
We do have a request in for that one, to be able to mute individual conversations. See, I thought of that one.
People tend to abuse the system.
I don't want to follow this anymore.
Well, if it's a group chat, you just
I agree.
we also have a concept of allowable users or blocked users. If you want to block a person, where you only want to allow certain people to contact you, Brad's. Yeah, why is the scheduler contacting the Reds? Leave me alone, go away. You can see it.
I can, yeah. But again, it's a professional application.
Yes.
Do you really want to block people? I mean, just social media as such?
Yeah.
Virtual.
Yeah, agreed, and their ideas at the moment.
Lee,
Should be configurable.
or having like a Big Brother account, I can look at all the conversations to see, are you working or are you chatting to go up?
We've already talked about that. Yeah, we've actually been reading up a bit on the legislation in different countries for
Yeah,
Like a moderator or?
no, not a moderator, for chat statistics, being an administrator able to view all chats for individual users. In some countries it's allowed, like in the
Yes.
US, there was a legal case where it's a business application. Yes, the company has full right to monitor all chat activity on their business application. Other countries, it's not so cut and dry. Yeah, Europe, it's a lot more gray.
I see.
And sorry, Lee, there is no issue with discussing a case with someone that maybe you should not, or you are not allowed. At least in the formal way. You can call someone, but it's not written on any place. I don't know if any country has that kind of legal requirement.
I'm not sure. They wouldn't. Chatting with the person would not give them access to any functions inside the RIS that they wouldn't have. So that nav bar is a real nav bar.
Yeah,
if they don't
only
have
the
access
name.
to that
Yeah,
action,
you're right.
they won't have
So
access
it's only
to
the
that
name of
action.
the patient.
Right. Yeah.
So
Which
that-
they can get off the work list.
So that's not tied in with VIP and with patient consents in any way?
I will have to ask about that one.
Yeah.
It's supposed to work. It's
But I think it's a nav bar, so if it's
it's
launched
regular
off the
nav
nav
bar.
bar, it should work, but we should check that.
everything that works from regular number work from this number. It's completely the same number.
Yeah.
We just instead of putting it there, we're putting inside of the room.
Right.
No, but
I know, like,
VIP maybe
There is a
What is-
showing.
I'm not
showing
familiar
a
with VIP. I don't know what
Yeah,
is.
for a particular, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
If it's Queen Elizabeth, maybe.
Well, the tally's here, I'm sure that'll be tested
Yep.
very shortly.
Okay.
Yeah, the VIP is a good point.
Yeah.
We may miss it.
Maybe we should.
You mean disable the context aware chat when the patient is VIP?
No,
If VIP you don't have the same.
You can
Level
chat
of-
if it's a VIP. You can
Yeah,
chat
yeah.
on the content.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure that you can't launch any of the risk actions from that nav bar for a VIP patient you don't have access to.
Or,
Okay.
when you open a chat, only people which are allowed to see this VIP.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's,
Maybe we should have another option of high importance list of people in
actual
chat.
chat itself.
If not, we'll see the name.
Or maybe level by the lowest.
No VIP usually.
Yeah, the lowest anticipated.
If you are allowed to see these VIPs, you can open a chat with the participants. They are not super chat.
They're not allowed to see it or
No
Yeah,
problem to
so
check.
really they shouldn't even be able to see the ID information in the chat for that case. Yeah, very good point.
Okay, so let's close. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Close the chat. No, porque no veo. No puedo creer.
Alright, so we have two topics left to cover for this week. We had the justification window. We had one very, very full day where we did document together and scheduling enhancements, and we shoved justification off from that day because it was already just too much. So we have that one to cover today, and the study import. So justification, there were some changes in 11.2, so that will be testing functionality. Study import wasn't technically in 11.2, but it was in an update of 1.14.40 that probably not everyone has seen before, so we'd like to cover that one while everyone's here as well. And it's a workflow that's used very heavily in the Nordics, especially particularly Uppsala uses it a lot, and HSO will use it quite a bit as well, but it's a feature we think that may be very handy for other regions as well, so just to get some exposure to that feature. And those are the main topics left that we haven't covered yet this week. After that, or beside that, is the rest of the test cases. We know it was a very full week and not everyone got through their test cases, so for this morning, use your time testing the items that you feel you need more coverage on. And this afternoon we will go over the justification and study import and have the afternoon to spend on those.
Is it, Mark leaves at noon, maybe should we do